All right. Well, hello everybody and welcome back. It's been a little while since we've had any Dream Slayer Studios content up and running, and I appreciate your guys' patience with me as I and my family have been kind of navigating through some difficult times. And while we may not be back to our rigorous schedule right away, I'm happy to be back at our Marvel Superheroes World War II campaign in the Mouth of Madness with my players from Startplaying.games. Good to see you guys. Thanks for giving me at least one session of break there. I needed it. So
Family comes first.
thank you. Well, for those of you that haven't been watching the series on YouTube or Twitch, we are now more than 15 episodes into campaign 2 of the series. And for those of you guys that are my players that actually played in the first session, the first campaign, that is actually 15 sessions was the end of our campaign for In the Shadow of Evil. Can you guys believe that?
Amazing.
And we now at 15
So we're
episodes
what you're
in,
saying is we're dawdling, wasting time, and doing weird side quests.
we're literally just scratching the surface now. We're actually now getting into the meat and bones of actually where we're going to go with this particular campaign. So yeah, the adventure starts here. But for those of you that have been watching or haven't been watching, I usually always try to give you all a little bit of a rundown to get you caught up. And any of you out there in Twitch land or YouTube land can always seek out the Dream Slayer Studios channel on YouTube so you can see firsthand what has brought us up until this point. And if you like what you see here tonight, do please consider supporting us on Patreon. We've also got our Dream Slayer Studios store up and running now that we've reached 500 subscribers on YouTube. We've got Dream Slayer Studios t-shirts, tanks, sweatshirts, stickers, coffee mugs, both on TeePublic and Teespring, and the links will be available in the description of our YouTube videos. And now, on to the recap. So, after recovering the infamous Spear of Destiny from the hands of the Nazis, the Reclaimers have learned of a series of items connected to a set of vibranium discs known as the Drapa Stones that may hold ancient secrets that, when unlocked, may sway the tide of war in favor of those in possession of those items. Our heroes have just now begun their worldwide search for these 5 items of power: the Roman Dodecahedron, the Antikythera mechanism, the Goddard coin, the Baghdad battery, and the Roman tooth wheel. They now find themselves in the Roman Coliseum, descending into forgotten tunnels beneath the ancient structure in search of the Roman dodecahedron. So that is essentially where we left off last time. I'm going to pull you guys to a new little map here as you guys are traveling down into the tunnels underneath the Roman Coliseum. This is basically kind of what you guys are now walking into. Um, there's a spiral staircase essentially that leads you down into the underground beneath the surface here. And you have kind of entered into a small kind of foyer here, and it looks like off to as you enter to your left, the map right, there is kind of a caged off area here, so you can't actually walk into this area right in here. But it looks like that would have been like perhaps some living quarters or something to the effect, perhaps for one of the gladiators from the era. It looks like what has been done here is at some point in recent history, a lot of the catacombs down here had been kind of revamped for perhaps tourists to come down and kind of take a look at some of the stuff. But this area has been closed off, I would say, probably for at least a century. It's covered in dust and dirt and grime, and it certainly feels incredibly ancient down here, even though perhaps there had been someone or some people down here as recent as the last century. Um, Off in front of you in this area here, you can see just kind of a dim light that is lighting up this central area here, and you can see what appear to be kind of human-like figures. They are standing completely still, and at a quick glance, you can tell that they are indeed statues, human-sized, but you're catching little glints of steel or metal kind of glancing off of these statues. So essentially, that's what you see as you guys enter into that main foyer area. Tell me what you guys want to do now that you're down here.
Do we have light?
Yeah, the light's very dim.
We have-
I mean,
we
I can
have-
see,
We
I
have
can see
flashlights.
the line of sight here.
Mm-hmm.
Shelly will raise a
sure.
hand up and just let some lightning play off her hand to brighten things up a little bit.
Okay.
I can make it darker. I don't think that's going to help, though.
No, please.
I look at Shelly and say, "Huh, you must save on a lot of batteries."
Let me see if I
Johnny-
can give you some light here real quick.
Okay. Starting to feel like Madripoor vibes.
I think that Johnny mentioned being able to do a light spell
Mhm.
with Mr. Arcane,
Yeah, I
in
think
case-
you can too, yeah.
in case that's something we can do.
Let me see how big I can make this.
Yeah, but he's got important magic things to worry about.
There we go. Now, does that give some light off for
Yes.
everyone there now?
It's a little brighter, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and turn on Arcane's light here as well, just in case. There we go. All right, so that should hopefully lighten things up a bit for you guys.
And you said, so we saw like silvery metal ahead?
Yeah,
Like
kind of glancing
steel?
off of the statues.
Let's see how smart Shelly is today.
Not so smart.
No, she's not gonna make any
Her-
kind of connections.
Her hair looks pretty.
Yeah. At least my hair is nice.
That's what matters.
Yeah, exactly. That is the most important thing. Are you
Yeah.
tanked up?
Yes, I am. We're going to
Okay,
a dark
well-
place with, all sorts of bad stuff. So I have definitely tanked on here.
Okay, so I will let you go first. I'm not going to. That's literally your jam. I'm not gonna step on
Yep.
your toes there.
I'll go ahead and put my shield on as well and put my cannon.
Shelly
into play.
pokes Hank. Is your shield on? Is your shield on? How about now? Is your shield on yet?
No, not yet, but
I will kind of, since we haven't been being very stealthy, I'm just gonna kind of yell, not yell, but at least say back. Okay, so there's like a big statue here and stairs going off in every direction. Is that a column in front of me, or is that like a brazier?
right here,
No, that's a statue. I can tell that much.
Yes,
Straight further south.
this way. Yeah, I'll get to that here in just a second.
Okay, sure.
Will's gonna fire up his Dark Force aura.
Okay. And Bombshell had just asked Mr. Arcane if he was if his shield was up, and he replied no. He said, "But before we go too far, if I may say so, I think Will, correct me if I'm wrong, this is really about the first time that we have undergone something of this particular archaeological exploration with you in particular. Am I correct?"
That is correct.
Now, if I remember correctly, this is a bit down your particular alley, is it not?
Most definitely.
So perhaps before we go gallivanting around and stomping over things, we've not had much luck with that in the past.
I don't know. I stomp pretty good.
Well, yes, you do stomp very, very well, and you tend to stomp into tripwires and switches that perhaps we don't want to go off. I think perhaps maybe we should let Will go first.
Happily.
And
I kind of do a gracious bow, clanking a little, gesturing, after you, sir.
if you'll allow me, I may step into the astral plane for a moment to hopefully get a little bit of a lay of the land.
Do you want us? Do you want us to wait for you to come back, or do you want Tank to carry you?
Why don't you check the area there where Tank is, since he has stepped forward, and just make sure that we're not going to trip anything while I'm away.
We'll go take a look. I feel like in his particular case, Scholar of Antiquities probably really applies here, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Arcane goes into his meditative state and kind of lets Bombshell be the guard once again while he's
I'm assuming he like Lotus on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Okay,
kind of
so
probably
she
floating
hovers.
a little bit, yeah.
Oh, floating? Okay. She's hovering.
Okay.
Helicopter girlfriend.
Look at that roll. What a magnificent roll.
I know. It's like Will does this or something.
All right, so Will, while you take a step inside there, you now kind of come into this kind of you can tell that this area, this little antechamber that you have kind of wandered into now with Tank, is here to honor some of the better known gladiators of the day. Immediately upon entering in here, and like you got a 98 on your roll, so immediately you recognize, and probably with your studies of Greek history and so forth, you can probably even read some of the placards that are at the base of each of these statues. So you can tell the one in the center here is Commodus, which is known as the Emperor Gladiator. Commodus actually, for a brief time, became the Emperor here in Rome. And he chose to fight in the gladiator pits. And he was by far not the best gladiator out there by any stretch of the means, but because he was an emperor, he is exalted above all others, at least in this particular little tableau that they have going on here. Around him, you see 4 others, which all 4 of these are names that are very well known to you. And number 1, probably the most famous, is Spartacus. And Spartacus is right here next to where Tank is. Okay. And Spartacus is known as the Betrayer, and that's what his placard at the base of the statue says, Spartacus the Betrayer. Directly across from him, right down in here, is the gladiator known as Flamma, Flamma. And he is known as the Undefeated. And you know for a fact that in all of his battles, he survived basically every battle that he faced in the gladiator pits.
And I apologize. What was the name of the emperor again?
Oh, sorry. Is Commodus, Commodus.
Okay, thank you.
On this side here, we have Crixus. He is known as the Strategist. And then in the upper right-hand corner here, You have Marcus Attilus, and he is known as the Showman. Each of them are in different poses that kind of suggest their particular skills and prowess. The statues are made of what appears to be marble, but they are adorned with bits and pieces of their armors and their weapons that appear to be genuine from the time period. But they are in excellent condition and have been kept down in these chambers for centuries. Now, with that roll that you made as the Scholar of Antiquities, you got a red, a 98. You note that all of them are wearing, these particular items. Commodus bears a helmet, a shield, a pair of bracers, a chest plate, and a sword. You notice that each of these guys have similar stuff on them. But Spartacus is not wearing a helmet. Flamma does not carry a weapon of any kind. Crixus does not bear a shield, but he has his arm placed forward as though he would be holding a shield. And Marcus Attilus is minus the bracers that the others all possess. Now, none of these particular items are identical to one another, but at a quick glance, you do notice that something is missing from each one of these except for Commodus.
Okay. Interesting. So, like any well-trained scholar of antiquities who has experienced this, Will geeks out for a while. He tells the story of each and every person and totally insignificant facts about their lives. Just, probably wastes a good 15 minutes on that before he just kind of starts looking and taking in. Statues they're all missing gear except for Commodus. Does it look like the statues are posable or that the gear may come off of them?
If you take a closer look at that, you do see that there are what appear to be little small holes that look as though something should be attached in those particular areas on those statues.
So there are two options. Option one is that they're scattered around here somewhere are going to be the missing equipment pieces. Option two is we remove them from Commodus and put them on the other gladiators.
That sounds right to me, because he said he wasn't the best.
I kind of like that. Yeah, it sounds like it's sort of a puzzle thing.
Like he was a fake gladiator.
I bet if we do that, then, some sliding door is going to open and then we get hit by gladiator mummies or something.
Possibly.
A year ago, I couldn't have imagined saying a sentence like that and not being really drunk.
If there are gladiator mummies, I will write a paper on it, because that would just put our archaeological understanding of the Roman Empire and their burial rites, just flip it right on its head. That would be crazy.
Why
Make you famous.
You could write a comic book about it and then people would read it.
But paper. I would get invited to conferences.
Yeah.
Maybe they would Maybe they would drop some of those grave robbing charges on me.
Ooh. Inconvenient.
Okay. Oh.
Let's just say I shouldn't go back to Madagascar, and we'll leave it at that.
So,
right.
what are you wanting to do then?
I think the best bet is someone who can absorb damage should try the shield and see what happens, while I wait over here.
I think I kind of have the absorb damage job in this this here outfit, huh?
Yep.
Go get him,
Oh,
Tank.
I mean, it hurts you a lot less, so go for it.
Since you volunteered.
I'll take the shield and give it to the gladiator who is missing a shield.
Okay. All right, so you reach out to take the shield from Commodus, and you're in tank form, so you're considerably stronger. You kind of give it a tug. You kind of got to give it a little bit more oomph to pull it off of there. It does kind of pop off. You bring it over to, let's see, the one with the shield would have been Crixus, which is the one in the bottom right-hand corner right here. And then you begin to try to kind of situate it to where it will hang on his arm. But for some reason, wherever those points are, they're not wanting to try to really match up. You can kind of sling it over him and like get the straps over top of it, but it just kind of flops down and doesn't want to hang as though it's actually attached to the statue.
Well, maybe it's plan A then.
I will come over closer again. Okay, so Will is going to go way into the weeds on this and kind of look underneath of the other shields and get a measurement for how far apart each of the prongs are for each of the statues to see if Crixus is an outlier or if they're all individualized or something in between.
Gotcha. So taking a look at each of them, there are different measurements for each one of these.
Interesting. Okay. So that means they're probably all... That means the other items are probably scattered around this place somewhere.
I'll put the shield back then, in the meanwhile.
Okay.
Okay. Time to explore, I guess.
Now, you guys should be able to see, like, in shadow, perhaps, some of the rest of the map now. Is that visible on your screen now?
Yes, it is.
It goes off in several directions.
Okay.
I can see that much.
So I took Johnny's character, Mr. Arcane, and kind of flew him about in here, which should have opened up a little bit more visibility for you guys. So he has been able to kind of scour the catacombs for you all. And he basically comes back with a report of, I believe I found the dodecahedron.
Oh. Well, that was easy then.
But it is behind a closed door on the far end of the catacombs. There is a veritable maze down here that we would have to traverse to get there. There's several different directions that we could go. And in astral form, I'm not able to determine the correct means of opening this particular door. Now, in my astral journey, I've been able to uncover several other doors that lead to some small antechambers as well. And here's where things get a little bit hinky. Behind each of these other doors, there are some large statues, about roughly twice the size of the ones that you guys are looking at right now here, of the gladiators.
Oh, excellent. What are they of?
There are 3 very large stone minotaur.
Nope, that would match with the Labyrinth concept, so that's fine.
Now, I'm not detecting any magic here, but the fact that these statues stand alone in a single antechamber with nothing else around them, behind locked doors, causes me some concern. But right now, they are not animate. They seem to be simply statues.
Well, I mean, statues coming to life and actually attacking people isn't incredibly common.
But not
Really,
unheard
for us
of
it
is
is.
what you're saying.
Really, before I met you guys, it only happened the once.
Well, it's happened to us once or twice.
Okay. And we're definitely outside the mean on this, so, you know, there is every possibility that they are not, in fact, animate statues. They may spray poison gas or something else. They could be a different kind of trap. That's way more common.
Well, the only way we're gonna find out is to, find out. So let's pick a statue and go for it.
We can avoid them. Why would you want to interact with them?
Before we do that, Will's going to wander over here and just kind of take a look around.
Okay. All right, so this particular room here is kind of another antechamber that looks like perhaps living quarters for a gladiator. Now, this one has been basically decorated so that spectators can kind of come in and see what it would have been like to live in one of these gladiator chambers. Now, this is glorified by your knowledge of what they actually lived in. Now, some of these guys that, are depicted in the tableau here from the other room potentially might have had quarters like this that they might have stayed in prior to a battle. The more revered warriors, were allowed certain amenities. And of course, the emperor gladiator would certainly probably not even have it anywhere down here, in all honesty. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, nothing of any real note in this particular room. Now, there are weapons, there are pieces of armor that are located in here. So, there's everything that you need as far as like bracers, shield, sword, etc. It's all in here.
Do they have those telltale prongs, though?
Looking at that, none of them have the telltale
Okay.
prongs.
Okay.
And none of them really seem to be typical of the era. I mean, they're reproductions.
Oh. Okay.
Whereas the ones that you were looking at on the statues seem to be the real deal that have been adapted to fit these statues.
Will's excitement goes from like an 80 to just throwing it over his shoulder.
All right, so while Will is doing that, what about the rest of you guys? What are you guys doing?
Did the shield get put back?
Shield did
Yeah,
get
I
put
put it
back
back.
to
Okay.
the original, yes.
Okay. Hey, Will.
Yeah.
Do you think they named the commode after that guy because he was a shitty gladiator?
Yeah, I think so. That makes sense.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Oh.
I actually wondered the same thing. I don't know if there's any truth to that or not.
Well, I'm going to take a look at whatever this is down here.
All right. So you step into that room, and this looks like it's a rather kind of shallow well on the inside of that particular chamber. There is water on the inside, and a very faint glow kind of coming from underneath the water. It only looks like it's maybe about 8 feet deep with maybe about a 2-foot drop off from where you are. But in that glow, it appears as though there is something down there that is kind of catching the light, and it looks like it might be a shield.
I call back, hey, think I found something in here. I was just gonna toss a dime in and make a wish.
Oh, look at
And
who's
I
got all the
was, too.
money throwing dimes away.
Did are you tossing a dime in?
Sure, why not?
All right. So you toss a dime in and it hits the water, and then all of a sudden you hear and there is a door that closes off right behind you where you just came from, and doors that fall down in each of the areas off to each side of you, effectively locking you in that room.
Huh.
Oops.
Did someone touch something?
Not it. Shelly's holding her hands up.
And Tank,
I didn't get my wish, I yelled back.
and Tank, the water level is now beginning to rise in that well.
Does it look like the shield is coming up?
No, it's still at the bottom.
I'm starting to see a problem here. Before
Could you
the water,
Tank, could you describe the problem?
yeah, I'm in a closed room and there's rising water, and I don't float.
Oh,
Do you have to breathe when you're like that?
that one's very clever.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
I'm going to come back to here, and I'm going to say, everyone back away from the door. And
That was really funny.
wait. Can't Priest make things intangible?
he can, but I'm trying to figure out exactly where things are enclosed right now. I'm a little
Okay,
unsure
yeah,
where
sorry.
these
Let me
are at.
actually draw it out for you here. Tank, I'm going to move you back just a skosh.
okay.
And let me get my drawing tools, and let's see if I can show you.
Because I'm about to commit more, archaeological mayhem.
Right?
No.
This isn't the first ancient temple I've destroyed, and it ain't going to be the last.
Please?
There we go. Can you see that now?
I
Yep.
can. I
Okay.
can. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Priest will go ahead and move forward and use ionization on the door that's between him and Human Tank.
Okay.
For comedic effect, I would say that he does that exactly as I do that. It's clobbering time! Smash through.
Nice.
That is gonna be
So it's tanking time is my actual phrase.
Now, are you charging the door, or are you just punching through it?
I was going to start with punching, and if that didn't work, my next step would have been a charge.
Gotcha. Okay. Did you call Karma, Priest?
I did not.
All right.
So
Okay, so that didn't work.
No.
So Tank, you're going to try to punch it then, correct?
Yep.
All right, go
It would
ahead and
probably
make
be
a strength roll there.
While they're doing that stuff, Will's going to sit there and go, there's got to be a release. So he's going to look around and see if he can find a release for the trap.
Okay. All right, 49. You hit it, and it is a metal door. So you kind of create like a tank fist shaped dent in it, but it also kind of moves it from its frame a little bit too. So you've actually kind of created a little bit of a hole, at least a crack along the seam of the door on the right hand side at least. Another good whop would probably knock it completely loose.
The other option I was thinking is that's also impressive is dig my fingers into the crack and just kind of peel it open like a sardine tin.
Yeah, and that would probably do it, yes. Now, once you do that, the raising water actually stops. So at this point, it has just started to kind of spill over the edge of the well and begun to just kind of fill the floor area. But as soon as that seal is broken, the water stops and actually now begins to kind of recede back to the level that it was. There's still water collected here on the floor, but it's only about ankle deep.
I will mention that I think the shield is down the well, and maybe we need someone who's agile to go get it.
Or, Will walks in and looks down. Is there a shield down there?
There is a shield down there, yes.
Does it appear to be attached to anything?
Kind of hard to tell.
Yeah. Well, we'll try to use telekinesis and bring it up.
Well, that works.
Okay. Go ahead and make a roll.
Okie doke. That's not ominous.
I mean, I get it, but I'm not allowed to touch things anymore.
Right, because it will possess you.
Might not.
Oh, bugger.
All right, so you reach out with your telekinetic kind of tendrils to try to pull it up and out, and it's in there pretty good. And you can kind of feel it budge a bit, but it's attached to the floor.
Okay, it's attached to something down there.
How deep is the
Spartan
whale?
is not on the same part of the map as the rest of us are.
What's that now?
Sparta is not on the same part of the map the rest of us are. I can't find.
There we go.
clicking.
Okay, let me see here. Give me 1 second.
I see her right there.
She just came down.
Can you see it now, Beth?
Someone
Oh,
moved me. I not seeing anything differently and has a totally different view than I have.
You might need to just refresh your browser.
Oh,
There you are.
thank you.
That do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
How deep is the well?
In total, it's about 8 feet deep, but there's only about 6 foot of water in the well at this point, since it has receded.
Look, a dime.
Shelly is perfectly happy to dive, but maybe Hank could use his magnetic stuff to pull it out.
Someone's talk about telekinesis.
Yeah,
Yeah, the telekinesis was tried already.
yeah, that's true. I don't know how strong they are in relation to each other.
Yeah, he could certainly give that a shot and see.
If not, I'll dive in. It's not a problem.
Let's see here. So
I'd ask Tank to do it, but he don't swim so good.
all right, he got a 49 on excellent, and again, he's able to budget a bit, but it does seem to be attached
All right.
on the ground down there. Yeah.
All right. Shelly will take off. She's wearing nun disguise, right?
Yeah.
So I guess the heavy outer stuff off, just so she'll have something dry to put back on.
You may need to twist it. There may be a latch.
Yeah, I will give it a shot. Here we go.
Okay.
And alley-oop.
All right, make an endurance roll, please.
Okay. That doesn't seem like a thing that you would normally do on just cutting into a pool of water, but you know.
It's really cold.
Ooh.
Oh no!
Dang it! I forgot to say karma.
when you go in, the water is so cold, it causes you to actually breathe in, and you end up choking down some water, and have to come back very quickly, come back up to the surface and spit that out. But essentially, what I'm having you do here is basically just to hold your breath long enough so that you get down there and pull it out. So
I will now that I'm prepared for that. I'm so cold. And then dive back in with my breath already held this time. You want another roll?
No, that's all right.
Okay.
We'll go ahead. Now, depending on how long it takes you to get that loose, that'll be another story. Just make a strength roll now that you're down there.
All right. I feel like I should not need karma for this. Or is this
famous
to?
words.
Is this to get the shield, or
Yeah.
is this just to swim down?
To get the
Okay.
shield. Uh-huh.
I will spend karma on this.
Hmm.
Good thing.
Good thing, yeah.
Jeez, dice do not like me.
And is her strength remarkable?
Yes.
Okay. So you get down there, and again, a little resistance, but you're able to kind of twist it and pop it loose. And
It's got those little same kind of fasteners
yeah. Mm-hmm.
that the statue has. Okay.
Mhm.
Once I get it, I will come up to the top and get out, and she will say, "Now I must kill you all." Just kidding.
I just
And
figured
she
we'd
will-
knock you back in and let the water shock you back to your senses.
And she will hand the shield to somebody while she attempts to dry off a little bit.
All right, who's taking the shield?
Tank, will you do the honors?
Sure, this kind of fits. I actually strap it on. Hey, I'm like that guy, the captain dude.
Right, but now you should go put it on that statue over there.
Very different color scheme,
Oh.
though.
Oh, yeah. I will put it on the statue, which I believe is this one.
Yep, that's right. So you bring that over to Crixus and place it up there and twist it just a little bit, and it just pops right into place. When that happens, you hear another kind of rumbling sound off in the distance. It does sound very similar to the sound of those doors that came down to trap you into the well chamber, but it's off in the distance somewhere, and because of the echoes in these chambers, it's very difficult to tell where it's actually coming from.
Right. Okay,
I will-
so
Rejoin the others. Did the doors come down when the well water dropped? The other 3 doors that you have marked?
The other 3 doors are still down, yes. Mhm.
okay. Will's going to continue to see if he can find a release for this trap.
Okay.
One
yeah.
thought with that, real quick.
Mhm.
It's definitely good to find the release, but if these doors are up and we just take one of them down and we leave the other ones up, then if something could come from those other sections, it's blocked by the doors.
We're stuck on this animate statue thing still, aren't we?
Yeah. I think we got to get the other 3 statues. That's the way these puzzles.
I'm unconvinced that we have animate statues.
They might not be
Which-
animate, but it's not,
which
that,
may- Maybe
no.
fa-
I'm not
maybe
talking
famous
about
last
animate
words.
statues.
Okay.
No, what I'm saying is on the other side of these doors that are currently up, there could be things that could, potentially attack us or be obstacles for us or encumber us that
Well,
can actually maneuver to us.
remember, Mr. Arcane did a reconnaissance, and the only thing of note were the statues.
But we don't know exactly where they are.
Fair.
So
we got to, it sounds to me like putting that statue back, putting that shield back rather, made some other doors thing slam. So I'm
Yeah.
figuring once we get all the pieces in, then we're going to get to what we really want down here.
So let's, I guess, continue looking outside of that room and see if we can find the rest of the accoutrement.
When
Yeah.
when that shield got attached to the statue, was it one of these that moved back, or no?
No, it was distant. It was a distance.
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Someplace in
it
the
was
distance.
in the distance. Yeah, I can't tell where it came from.
Okay, well, we have other directions to check.
Yep, I'm going to head east, I guess. As usual, I'll be breaking
And we'll
ground.
go back here.
Good idea. Split the party.
What could
Make it go so
possibly
much
go
faster.
wrong?
All right, so Will, you're heading up to the north in that
Yes.
area there, correct?
That's correct.
Tank is heading off to the east. And
Yep.
Tank, So real quick, Will, what you see up top here, there are two small little chambers up here. It looks like there's a trough over in this far area here on the left that has water in it. And
I found the commodus.
that very right, and that also may be what was feeding the well that was down there, because you can see that it is actually moving kind of in that direction, the water that is in there. So there's actually a source that's coming from somewhere. It's not just
Interesting.
stagnant water. Tank, from where you are right here, you do spot a door off to the north from the intersection that you are currently in, and a slight glow from a light here on the other side off to the east.
I'll go for the glow. The last item we had a glow, so
Okay. So inside here, you can see a pedestal here off on the far end, right up in here. And on that pedestal, there is a bust. On top of the bust, there is a helmet.
up here.
Now, before you go in there, back up. I would like for you now, on the bottom right hand of your screen, you should see a series of dice over there, correct?
Yeah.
If
It
you
looks
click,
like, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah.
if you click on the D10 once, and then click roll in the bottom right hand corner, tell me what number you get.
5.
A 5. Okay? Then I would like for you to roll it once again.
A 2.
Okay. And then give me one more roll.
Anytime the DM tells you to roll a die and you don't know what it's for, it's never good. An 8.
An 8.
It's even better when he smiles like that.
Okay.
The DM is smiling. It's already too late.
That's
Right.
my poker face.
Shelly is sticking with Mr. Arcane. I don't know if he's still down here, like examining things or what, but
and he's probably going to kind of come back up into the main chamber here and actually probably go into this area right in here, so he can kind of keep an ear out for what's going on both ways. Tank, you're moving into that area now to check out the helmet. And as you're moving through that little hallway right in here, all of a sudden from the sides, there are little small holes that open up as you step into that area and begin to just spit a series of darts at you as you walk through that area. Now you are tanked on, and fortunately it's you going through there and not anybody else, because they just basically ting, 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 just bounce off of your armor, and you are unscathed, fortunately, walking through there.
I continue on and try to. I take the helmet. I'm kind of bracing for something to happen. I don't know what. But,
sounds like there's a pachinko machine over there.
My guess would be when you take the helmet, everything will be fine for a second, and then a giant ball is going to roll out of the.
that would be the requirement. Yes.
All right, so are you taking the helmet?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you put your hands on the helmet and begin to lift, and it has some resistance to get it off of there. But now that you've done it once or twice now with the statues, it's got that same kind of twist and pop that the other ones did. So it's attached by those same little kind of pointy mechanisms. And then you hear off in the distance yet again that kind of cranking sound that sounds like a door opening. And Spartan, you hear it much louder. because it is definitely coming from up north of your location, from around this corner, or right up in this area here.
Okay. I start to head in that direction.
Okay, and as you do, I'm going to have you make an intuition roll for me, please.
Do that. Intuition remarkable. So this is rolling for Spartan.
Got a
Ooh,
white.
this
Okay.
should have called karma, but I didn't. I'm sorry. I moved too. Sorry, Beth. I moved too fast.
All right, you get blindsided by a minotaur that comes running out of that small chamber on top up here.
See, absolutely no moving statues. It's fine.
No moving statues. And you would take 50 points of damage. Now, if I remember correct, you've got body armor, which will soak 10 of that, so you take 40 in total.
Oof.
But no slam on that one.
Okay.
Do we hear anything that would indicate something like that is happening?
I would imagine you probably heard that impact.
Yeah, I would move forward as soon as I saw her get hurt.
All right, Mr. Arcane, we're going to roll for initiative now.
Okay.
Right.
Trying to remember what his bonus is. He's going to be +3. Bombshell, what's your bonus? You got a +1?
1. Yeah. 1 with the Kobesh.
All right, Priest.
+2.
Fiend.
We're still getting weird.
+1.
Spartan.
+1.
Spartan cannot move into the room with the door.
Can't move into the room with the door. That's because it's closed. Yeah.
Okay, but didn't she go in there?
No,
There's
no.
no
She
li- there's-
she kind
Oh.
of came into this area here, and that's why I had her roll for the intuition, because he was coming out of the room at that point.
Okay, there's no light surrounding her. It's very hard to see what's going on.
Right. Yeah, because you're in dark chambers. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Arcane should be casting light into the hallway here, so she should be able to be seen here. Am I correct?
Yep. I can see her, anyway.
Is everybody else kind of getting the cast off of the light from Bombshell and Mr. Arcane, or no?
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Okay, all right.
It's not on Spartan's screen.
It's not on Spartan's screen. Huh.
Yeah, she's still kind of all in shadow.
But, I mean, it's dim, but can you see the walls, or is she just in complete blackness?
I can see the walls. They're very, very dim, and there's a green line and a minotaur in front of them.
Okay, all right, yeah. So that would be right then, yeah.
Our maps look different because I'm way over on the other side.
Oh, okay. Well, and I wonder if it's maybe, just the... Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to tell if I'm not looking directly at it from your angle.
Yeah.
Because my screen certainly looks different than the player's screen. I wish there was some way for me to be able to tell what you guys are actually seeing.
Can
And
you share your screen in the Zoom, or is that a presenter meeting
Well,
organizer thing only?
Why don't I just do this, and we'll just bring the...
I cannot, because of the positioning. Okay, now I
Did
can
that
see
help?
Spartan. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I can see Spartan and the Minotaur on my map. I only need to see it so I can help with some of the rolls.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Right. I gotcha. Okay, yeah.
Because we still have issues with Beth trying to actually do the rolling. So
Okay.
I mean, she knows what to roll. She knows the rules, obviously, but I have to actually do the clicky.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
My hands don't work right.
All right, so Tank, if you and Spartan would go ahead and roll initiative, then we can kind of get rolling here. Literally
As it were,
rolling.
yes.
All right, and then Tank, do you have a bonus for your?
I don't. Spartan does,
Okay.
and I can never quite remember what it is.
Hers is +2, but she
Okay.
rolled a 1, so 1's a 1 in this case.
Oh, it's like a natural one, a crit.
Mhm,
Fuck
yeah.
it. I
Okay.
am not doing good for you, honey. I'm sorry.
You gotta stop letting him roll for you. All right, so Will, just real quick. Now I'll come back to you here in just a second. We're gonna start at the top of the initiative with Mr. Arcane.
Well, that's not ominous either.
And he's not going to roll for extra actions, but and I've been kind of running the whole dodge and extra action thing a little bit different with some of my other groups, so we're going to try it with you guys just to kind of help save time. So right now he's not taking any extra actions, but he is going to attempt to move Spartan back to get her out of range of the Minotaur using his magnetism. And he's going to... Well, I'm not going to call karma because I don't want to spend his karma. All right, I got a 43, which he gently kind of lifts Spartan and pushes her back into the chamber, back where Tank was before he went in to get the helmet. And then from there, we're going to go to Bombshell.
Well, she will draw her Kopesh and roll up here to see what the heck is going on. Oh, hey, that's a big stone minotaur, I think. Is it moving?
It is. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the tried and true plan of get him. I should do the multi-action roll thing, right?
Yes, if you would like to do that, you certainly may.
All right. And I use my base fighting plus martial arts B for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, karma, calling it. All right. I'll bump that to a red. Sure.
All right, so total of 3.
And I gotta find out how much karma that costs. Universal table. Incredible. 91. So 10. Just the 10. Okay. And that's 3 actions. Okay. So I think she will just she's running in and then she will do like a I'm guessing this thing is big.
He's a big boy. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
about
she's gonna-
10 feet tall.
All right, she's gonna do just because this is what I'm seeing in my head. She's gonna do one of those slide between the legs / the leg
Mm-hmm.
moves.
Okay.
And try to end up behind him. And we'll see how the Kopesh likes stone. And I'm not gonna call karma on this. I got 3 attacks. There we go.
All right, and that got you a yellow, correct?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
How much damage does that do?
She is not channeling any lightning through it because she figured that it's not going to do anything special against stone anyways. It would just be, I think, incredible damage.
Okay.
So 40. It does normally ignore armor, but I don't know. Yeah.
The Kopesh does ignore armor.
Ignores non-magical armor,
Okay.
I think.
All right. Cool. All right. So you took a pretty decent chunk out of the back of the knee as you were coming through. And as you do so, you are now noticing that it's got articulation points. So all of the joints and so forth. This appears to be some sort of mechanism of some sort.
Okay.
Machine, perhaps.
Okay, so it's not magical. Good. That makes me feel slightly better.
Oh, so on the plus side, it's got 22 points of articulation, but on the downside, somebody removed it from the box.
Right.
And-
it is no longer mint in box.
It's no longer even mint. She took a chunk out of its leg.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I know it's a collector's item, but
So you have 2 more actions that
do you want me to do them
can
now
take.
or at
Yeah.
the end?
Yeah, we
Okay.
can do them now. If you want,
Okay.
or if you want to hold, you can hold.
No, she's just gonna go to work on that knee joint.
Mhm.
So another attack. Ooh, whiff.
Okay.
And another one.
81.
There we go.
That's a yellow.
There it
All right.
is.
And that's another 40, correct?
Correct. So clang clang.
Playing with the trolley.
And then I'm assuming there's going to be a oof here in the near second.
All right, so it's not making any sounds as far as like reacting to the damage, so it does not seem to be in pain.
Right.
You are hearing what sounds to be almost like clockwork, like gears shifting. And since you've hit this twice in the back of the knee, there's a little bit of a hiccup in that. So it's so you've certainly damaged the mechanism at this point.
Okay.
All right, so from you we go to priest.
I'll roll for extra actions.
Okay.
That's fighting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Plus martial
and
arts
karma.
B if you have it.
Thank you. So calling karma. Good that I did. Incredible.
So, incredible. So you got to get that up to a 31.
Yeah. So, okay, cool. So deal with that later. Is it 4 spaces or 5 spaces per area?
5.
5. Okay. So 1, 2. Wait, I can just. No, it doesn't look.
You have just enough movement to get to it if you want to.
Yeah, I think I'll do that. There we go. Sorry, it's not letting me. There we go. All right. Move here. Move up here. And that got me. I have 2 actions then with a green.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So I think that actually, before I actually get directly up, no, wait. Just a point of clarification for my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I know in the game that we were playing with Giganto, you made mention of when you're extremely close, the plasma cannons can do collateral damage. Do I need to be concerned about that with Bombshell's proximity?
Yeah, I probably would in this case, yeah, because she's pretty much right between his legs. Or just
Okay,
behind
all right,
him,
cool.
but yeah.
She also doesn't have her metal jacket.
She's gonna stab the Minotaur in the taint.
No.
Well, I will restrict myself then to just trying to punch him out then.
You're not gonna be able to resist, Jeff.
I am.
Do we have to decide on evade and dodge now, or will that come up if it becomes pertinent?
That'll come up, I think, if it becomes pertinent. That's one of the things that I've been kind of changing just to kind of help speed things up. So
I gotcha. All right, so my first one is a green with a 51.
mm-hmm.
Then My second one is a yellow, 1 point away from a 69.
All right, and that's just punching, correct?
That's just punching, so
Okay.
incredible damage
Gotcha.
each time.
All right, so you take him down a couple of notches, and it is like hitting a brick wall. So it's definitely got some pretty hefty armor to it, and actually, it's probably just made of that hefty armor from what you can tell. But it's hollow. You can actually hear just kind of a little bit of a dong, dong echo as you're hitting it. And then you've got one more action if you would like to take it.
Oh, I thought.
Oh,
I
I'm
only
sorry.
had
You
two.
did. You did
No,
twice.
you
You
got
did
two.
twice. I apologize. Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're good. All right. So moving on to the next in line, that would be Tank.
Okay, it sounds like I hear punching going on.
Mm-hmm.
So with helmet in hand, I'm going to basically shouldn't I roll for extra actions before I do anything?
Yeah, if you like. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna spend karma, and that's based on my fighting.
Mm-hmm. Plus martial arts beat.
Okay, so that is incredible, and I have called karma.
Got to get it up to
Okay,
31,
how much-
so spinning 10 will do it. And that'll get you a total of 2.
That works. 2 should allow me to, with helmet in hand, at least move to be in range of the Minotaur, do you think? Or
Yep. Yep, that'll get you there.
okay, but probably not to attack. Okay.
No, you'll still be able to attack. Yeah. Now, as you run through that hallway, you get more darts that come at you.
I will yell at Spartan, don't go through that hallway. There's poisony things. And get to here and just do a punch for my second action.
Okay.
Which again, that's going to be fighting, so that will be incredible. I will hold off on karma for now.
Okay. And you
Okay,
can
so I haven't rolled.
you can still do 2 punches. The move doesn't count as an action for you.
Okay, then we're gonna try a second wallop. I'm just gonna say that I'm having some trouble because I got the helmet in one hand.
That's
off
true.
my
Yeah,
cards.
yeah.
And this time I am spending karma. I cannot seem to roll above a white.
I watch him roll like a 99.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, that actually kicks it up to a red, I believe.
It
at
does,
the
yeah.
Incredible level.
And strength is amazing, correct?
My strength is amazing. It's
Okay.
a blunt attack, so a red ought to be a stun. If you can stun a.
No stun. No stun for you. All right, and then Will comes to you. Tell me
I
what
am
you're
forever
doing.
away.
Mm-hmm.
How many squares can I move again?
15 total.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes, I can move there. Stop it.
All right, so move your 5. That gets you to about right there.
Right,
And I'm going to
okay.
have you roll intuition for me,
Oh.
please.
Uh-oh. But why?
But.
Nothing, no special reason.
I'm
You
sure
know.
it's fine.
Just doing a dice roller check.
81. Okay, so as you are coming into that little intersection right there from the south, you see something barreling down the hallway at full speed.
Will yells at the top of his lungs, "God damn it, I hate being wrong."
You have initiative over him, though. So
I would very much like to move a little bit and then put up a dark force wall in between the two of us using energy solidification.
All right.
I will spend karma. Ow, my cat used me as a scratching post.
Aren't they the best?
They are.
Aren't they just the sweetest, most wonderful animals?
You know what?
They are.
How many do I need to get up to a red from 84?
On the incredible table, it looks like you would need a 91. So spend your 10. That'll do.
So I need to spend 10 anyway. Cool. Let's do that. There we go.
All right, and so
yeah.
throwing up a wall just before he gets into the room, correct?
Yeah, basically just right across this spot right there.
All right, and how much? What's the strength of that? Is that incredible?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Okay. All right. So.
Which will probably be like paper mache to him, but you know.
Yeah,
but
very,
also
very
might
well
suck
be.
out energy, so we'll see.
Oh my God! All right, so he hits the wall.
Like a bug on a windshield.
And you actually see, like, tar, like the figure of the Minotaur kind of just, like elastic, just kind of get pushed
Well,
back
just kind of
into
like,
the hallway.
I didn't know it did that.
He hit it with such force, he almost broke through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no extra actions then, correct?
Oh, Lord, no.
Okay. Spartan.
Not sure if I can do anything.
You can probably get to behind me and then throw your spear at the Minotaur.
But you told me not to go down that hall.
No, he was
No,
talking
not
about this
yet.
hallway here.
Yeah, not that
Oh.
one, but this one over
Oh, okay. I will go over here. And can I throw my spear at the Minotaur?
You can.
here.
Okay.
Do you want to spend karma on that?
Sure, why not?
So spear is, you have a really good gotta be here. Amazing with the spear when thrown. So rolling for Spartan. Green. How much would it take to get that up to a yellow? And would it matter, would a yellow be notably better?
47.
The 61 is what you would need for that. So I don't know that it's going to do that much more in this
It's a
particular
potential
instance.
stun.
That would be a potential stun on a living creature. Yes.
Then let's just spend the 10
Mhm.
minimum. No sense wasting it.
And then the thing does how
Yep.
much damage?
I believe it is incredible.
Okay.
Yeah, incredible edge damage.
Especially against things with metal innards.
Oh yeah, with vibration, yeah. Okay, so you toss it, you hit it kind of right in the side of the neck, glances off, and with your Stark enhancement now, I guess, it comes back to your hand. And you're like, ooh, oh, I like that.
That's kind of
I
awesome.
like it. Yeah.
Given all the spear fetching we've had to do.
And now it comes to our little buddy, the actual Minotaur that everybody's been picking on here.
I know.
Yeah. And I think he's going to roll for extra actions. Got an 80, which will give him his extra. Does it give him 2? It does. So he's got a total of 3 actions. So he is going to kick Tank with his first action. Got a 90 to kick Tank. So Tank, you would take incredible damage with that.
That will bounce.
Okay. Priest, he headbutts you.
Oh no.
Can I evade dodge?
You may attempt to do that. Yes, it's going to be an evade.
Okay.
So that's under fighting.
Okay. And I didn't call karma, so.
Oh, all right. Okay. That is.
You got the Glasgow Kiss, buddy. Sorry.
Okay, so that's 0 on that. Okay. So you are going to take. Amazing damage with that.
Okay. And I don't have a helmet, so that'll go all through.
And Bombshell, after he does the headbutt, he comes up around and drops backwards with an elbow to land on you.
Ow.
And missed in that case. So he lands like
she was
right
a little low
beside
for
you.
that.
Yeah.
Yep. She was a little low. She was pivoted to the side, like, oh hi.
All right, so now we come back to the top of the round with Mr. Arcane. Arcane now. Let's see. I think I'm gonna have. Yeah, no, I think he's gonna go down the hallway because it sounds like you guys have got this thing surrounded. So he's gonna come down the hallway here, and assist Will.
I think it's fun. The two squishiest people are like, "Nah, we got this.
Hey, we got this." And he is going to try to kind of create like a web in front of the dark force that you've got here to hopefully add a little bit more substance to that. Got a 61. All right, so he's able to kind of cast a web in front of that to kind of fortify the barrier. So you guys are holding him off at least.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bombshell comes to you.
Well, it's already laying down, so really it's right there. It needs to be turned off.
Yeah.
So she is going to drive her Kopesh through its like eye or something, like just right there.
Okay. Ooh, look at that.
I mean,
ooh, 94.
okay, so not an immediate kill, but also.
But that
40.
does how much? 40?
40, yeah.
Okay, all right. So you do take it down to 0 health. And in this case, since
Oh,
it
they
essentially
hear you.
is an inanimate object, you drive the Kopesh into the eye, which is actually made of glass, and just shatter that glass, and what light is burning behind the other eyeball goes out.
Reminds me of those Terminator thingies.
Mm.
So many robots, so little time. Okay. And I think from there, she heard the boys getting into trouble down at the other end.
Mm-hmm.
So her flight allows like 6 areas of movement, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll probably, she'll just like right over the top of Priest to here and then take a hard turn and just zoom down here.
Yep, that'll definitely get you there.
To see what's going on. It's like, oh, they're not in as immediate danger as she thought.
Mm-hmm. All right,
And I will
Priest.
hold those two other actions
Mm-hmm.
in case it breaks through.
Gotcha.
Well, am I? Let me make sure I'm not muted.
Nope, you're good.
So what? I think for now, I'm just going to move him as far as he can go towards the other action. And I don't know if I'll actually need to do anything right now since the fields are up down there. But yeah, that step is as far as he can go.
Okay.
Is he technically able to have line of sight on the Minotaur?
On the Minotaur, from where you're at, you probably cannot.
Okay.
Now, unfortunately, the actual line of sight is off because I had to kind of readjust the map so everybody could see, and so Tank could run Spartan. But technically, I don't think. Well, I don't know. Maybe.
Well, there's a wall there, right?
There's a wall there, yeah. But if the wall goes down, would he be
Right.
able to see him? Theoretically, yeah. Maybe just like half of them, like this half right here.
Okay.
But right now, you see a black, kind of shimmering wall with a green web that is kind of covering it and adding like a skeletal structure to it.
Awesome. Well, I will hold my actions then where I
Alright.
am currently.
Weird power surge, and I basically had one of my USB drives disconnect and Zoom dropped offline. I don't know
Weird.
why.
Well, glad to have you back because it's your turn now.
Oh, good.
The Minotaur is down, and everybody seems to kind of be running down to the other end of the hallway here to kind of help out down there.
Okay. I'm going to move to here, and which one's missing a helmet?
The helmet is Spartacus, which is the one in the upper left-hand corner right here.
I'll stop to attach the helmet so I'm not carrying it around.
Okay, cool. Will.
Well. So here's what we're going to do. The dark force that the thing tried to punch through
Mm-hmm.
is going to grow a giant javelin that's going to shoot straight into the Minotaur's stomach using energy solidification again.
Okay.
So
I can't see any of this.
But if you did, it would be awesome.
I would, but it just looks like you're just concentrating really hard on something. I don't know.
Yeah.
The special effects in the film would be awesome.
Right?
And that does incredible damage.
It does, but it's only rated at a 37, not a full 40.
Oh, okay. Thank you for clarifying. So,
And it is solid and a thing that's actually sticking in him, hopefully. And it might suck energy out. I don't know. Because that's what Dark Force does.
and have we determined how much energy it's siphoning?
It has been unclear thus far.
Okay.
I
I
don't know
would
that
probably
you've put,
go with like inverse regeneration and just like 1/10 the power rank per round or something. I don't know.
That's a good suggestion.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to gimp you, but also based on the comics, it does take a little bit even for it to eat like normal people.
Otherwise, it would be immediately fatal if Cloak teleported you.
Yes. And while you may wish it had been,
Right.
it does not usually turn out to.
All right, so you send a spike through the torso. Obviously, nobody else can really kind of see what's going on. I would imagine you can probably see through this, so that you can kind of tell what's
thought so,
happening.
yeah.
But yeah.
Mhm.
So you see, and it does puncture and kind of push out the back. It's ethereal, so it just goes through. It doesn't really cause necessarily damage in this particular case.
With energy solidification, it's supposed to actually be
Oh,
solid.
right. Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So in that case, it barely pierces the armor.
Boo.
But it does kind of create a small hole, which pierces it enough to be able to kind of siphon some of the energy that's coming from the creature.
Makes sense.
And then it is, let's see, that Minotaur is down, so we go to Spartan.
I will
Come on, join the party.
down the hall.
Mm-hmm.
We're just
Okay.
standing here watching the black wall. It's
Sure.
very dark.
And I think from where you went, it would actually probably put you right here, I believe.
Okay.
And then it's the other Minotaur's turn. And he takes a punch at the wall this time. I got a white, so it does not go through yet again. He's rolling terrible. So anybody that was holding actions at this point, if there's anything that you can or want to do, you're welcome to try to do that now.
As a free action, can I dissolve the wall at this point?
Yeah, sure, if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
Okay.
everybody that was holding actions, you now can do and let loose on this guy before
Indeed.
the beginning of the next round.
I will, yeah.
So it would go then to Bombshell first for the extras.
Yeah, and then Priest. Yeah.
Mhm.
She sees there's a hole punched in its armor already.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll try to throw some lightning in there.
All right. Give me a yellow for a bullseye.
I will spend karma. And I think this is only remarkable. Yeah. I think. Wait, let me look. Yeah, because it's just raw agility. Not her best thing.
62, and on the
Okay.
remarkable, to get that up to the yellow, you would need a 66, so spend the 10 and you got it.
Spend the 10. Cool. Yeah, and she pours lightning into its chassis.
And that's 40
see.
points or 50.
The lightning is 50, I
Okay.
believe. Double checking. Yeah, amazing damage.
All right, cool. All right, so you light it up. You hit it directly in the hole that was created by the Dark Force, and you can see through its eyes and its mouth and all of the little points of articulation, the electricity now just shooting out of it.
Now I'll try one more of the same. Karma again. Because I have no faith in the dice. Yeah, that's just gonna hit the surface.
All right, so that'll be a 36 to get you the green on that one. So that'll be a surface hit, and again, 50 points of damage there.
So 15.
It does a little bit more.
Okay.
Priest.
I'm gonna use both of my plasma cannons simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be one shot at incredible or monstrous damage if it hits. And I will call karma.
Mm-hmm.
Back to a yellow.
And incredible, get that to 61.
Sure, why not?
13? That's not a lot.
Yeah. That does 75 damage.
All right, so you hit that with the plasma and light up that hallway, and it certainly did some damage to him. And you see the left arm kind of pop out of socket as the kind of flash clears. Do you have a second action? That was with the plasma, so you've got two more then, don't you?
I have two actions, but there's nothing that I can do from this distance because I moved my maximum movement.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Tank, I think you're at your max distance as well. Is there anything that you can or want to do?
No, just putting the helmet back.
All right.
That hasn't been done yet.
Yep, no, you got that. Mark, I like what you got going on behind you there. I just now noticed that you got your actions and all that sort of stuff. That's a cool idea. I like that.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
Will.
I don't have anything.
Oh,
Cool
that's right.
behind
You
me.
don't have anything more, do you?
No.
Spartan, I don't know that you can actually see the Minotaur from your angle, so I think that actually is going to bring us to the top of the round once again. Arcane was still kind of holding up the web right now. So there is still a little bit of a barrier there, but what he's going to do now is he's actually going to take the web and push it forward and bring it down to almost like a razor's edge to kind of push it through the Minotaur.
Like Resident Evil.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Or Predator.
Ooh, got a yellow. That's not too bad. So that is going to do 30 points of magical damage. That's not bad at all. All right, bombshell.
Okay.
And basically what you saw was you saw that web kind of move into him and wrap around and just begin to kind of pull into the stone, kind of creating that kind of webbed pattern, and then the web finally just bursts and goes out. But he now has like this web carving in the stone.
That's cool. Nice. She's already kind of like in midair, so she's gonna go ahead and zip forward right in its face and give it the old whack right upside the head with the Kopesh.
7. That'll definitely hit. And you've got 2 more actions.
Yeah. Okay. And then
You hit it, and like one of the horns pops off.
and then I think with her free hand, she'll grab the other horn and just lightning charge the whole thing.
Okay. So that's going to be a grappling attack. So make a strength roll.
Okay.
Hey, all right.
Wow.
Oof.
You're on fire tonight.
I know,
Or
right?
lightning, I guess.
Shocking. And that would be 50 points.
All right. Yeah.
She's basically just showing off at this point.
Yeah.
Like, it's like she could see the thing was falling apart anyway. She's like, okay, put this thing down with some style. Reaches out, grabs the horn, and just.
Yeah, and as you do that, it basically sends all of the articulation points off, and it just bursts into like 20 different pieces. All right, so that is it for the Minotaurs.
Okay.
Okay, I got.
Were
the
there only
helmet.
2 of those?
There were supposed to be 3.
There's another one somewhere then.
Yeah.
Why do you think there's a? Why do you think there's 3?
Because Mr. Arcane said there were 3.
Oh, well then we're waiting for one to pop up. Well, hold on.
Maybe it's
a
a sneaky Minotaur.
Well, no, because think about it. I got the shield and the helmet. That's 2. I bet when we find the 3rd item, we get the 3rd Minotaur.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But there are 4 items.
We probably get something nastier when we get the 4th.
Maybe all of the Minotaurs come back and charge us at once. Just pull themselves back together.
There looked like there might have been another direction we could go where we fought the other Minotaur, like a downward direction we could go
Okay.
when we were back up there and had light in there.
Chris.
Yep.
Do these Minotaur statues have like the nose ring?
Yes, they do.
She's gonna just collect that as a keepsake.
All right.
I think it'd make a bangle or something.
Okay. All right, well, I tell you what, as we get ready to explore the rest of the antechambers. Why don't we take just a quick, like, 7 to 10 minute break,
Okay.
and then we'll come back here shortly. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Sounds
Sounds,
good.
All right.
sounds wonderful.
I gotta take a little tinky winky.
Yep, me too. Oh.
Better than a... Never mind.
We'll be back shortly.
Dreamslayer Studios presents a wide selection of live tabletop role-playing game campaigns, specializing in fresh new independent games like Tales from the Loop and the Great American Novel, as well as traditional games such as the original Marvel Superheroes RPG by TSR and Savage Worlds. Our game master works hand in hand with the players to create one-of-a-kind original stories that are jam-packed with intense battles and in-depth character development that rely on creative and collaborative communal storytelling. So, if you're in the mood for something a little different than the typical Dungeons & Dragons fan, look no further than Dreamslayer Studios' RPG podcast. Available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and anywhere you consume your live play RPGs.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna pick up basically where we left off, and we were there. I think Priest was talking about that there was a down the hallway where you guys had just come from, down to the south. There was a hallway that kind of jutted off that you had not explored, and then obviously where the Minotaur had come from, down this hallway where the lights are. You guys haven't been down that hallway yet either.
All right. Well, how about we let the expert lead? Looking over at Will pointedly.
And Will, I think you're muted. There you go. Now we got you.
How about now?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. That's funny. That didn't work last time.
Although, I don't want you to get shot by a poison dart, so I don't know. Maybe we should have Tank go first.
Well, let's start with putting that that helmet the tank found on the statue.
It's already done.
Oh, okay. How did I miss that?
Happened in the middle of the fight.
Oh, okay. That's how I missed it.
You were busy stabbing the Minotaur with the Dark Force.
Okay, so we've checked the upper, the northeast and the northwest. So let's work down this hallway and see what we can find. Now, based on my knowledge of how things are laid out, I will try to find likely trap triggers. We found some poison darts. We've found a water trap. Pit traps are likely. Maybe some sort of forced cave-in. There's also the possibility of some more elaborate things.
Well, make sure you get keep your shield up.
Oh, always.
And she just like shoots a sidelong glance at Arcane. Doesn't say anything to him directly.
And he goes,
just looks at him.
I don't know what you're looking at.
I was going to move to here and take a good long look at whatever this is.
All right. Yeah. So there's a what do they call him? Brazier. Is that right?
I think brazier.
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 A brazier.
No, it's
No.
not. I know we're pre-code, but it's still not a brazier.
Okay.
She was huge.
And it is being supplied with flame. You can smell a bit of a gaseous kind of scent in here. So it's not being... I mean, okay, so you know like the modern things that they have that makes it look like it's like coal or what have you? Mm-hmm. It's some sort of like either glass or ceramic kind of suggestion that these are like... lava stones or something of that sort, but whatever is supplying this with flame is coming from somewhere else.
So this is not period. This is something that's been added after the fact.
Correct.
If we can smell the gas,
also older. Yeah.
Then that means it's being supplied by a modern gas because that smell is added.
Yep. Exactly.
Not that Shelley would know that.
Other Will does. Otherwise, we would need a canary.
And Will, I would make an intuition roll, please.
Awesome. I'm excited. I'm happy to be a part of this.
Better you than me, buddy.
Nope.
Oh, maybe not. Better thing.
Will's gonna get trucked.
Found the third Minotaur.
closed out a window I didn't want to close out. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I would like for you to look in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen there where
Yep,
the
yep,
dice are and
yep.
go to the D10.
Yep.
Click on the D10 and hit roll for me.
Roll. Oops.
Oh,
I
that's
hit
all
it
right. You did
twice.
it twice, but I can use both of those numbers. So you got a 5 and a 9, correct?
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
Actually, no. The 5
wait,
was
no.
no.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
5. Yeah, I got
Oh, two
a 2 and
D10.
a 2 and a 7.
2 and a 7. All right, so
Yeah.
2 and a 7, and then roll one more for me.
9.
And a 9, say. 7, 9. Okay, cool.
Is it?
All right, so looking in here, I mean, you've checked all around the flame in here because you're thinking there's got to be something with this that
Yeah.
this thing's gonna like blow up, or the flame is gonna increase, the gas is gonna like expand into this area, and you're checking it, and you're not finding anything that remotely seems like this thing is going to go. So it seems like it's clear to move on.
Okay.
In whatever direction that you want to move, and that could be either to the east or to the south.
I'm going to continue south.
Okay. All right, so you step into this area. Where is everybody else at this point?
I'm hanging out with Mr. Arcane. I don't know how close he's getting, but
I think Arcane would probably be following fairly close behind.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to try to stick fairly close to the other people.
All right, I'll drag you down in this area here. And Spartan, I guess, is kind of coming in with you. All right. Is that...
Yeah, we don't want to split the party again and end up with just one or two of us against a Minotaur, or the rest are all off on the other side of the complex.
Okay, so Will, you're gonna continue down south, correct?
That's correct.
All right, so go ahead and move in the direction that you want to go, and everybody else is. Are you guys all kind of following?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
going to
Yeah.
stick together.
Oop, sorry about that. I was trying to help you guys out there. Is that where you wanted to go there, Jeff?
yeah, I mean, just generally keeping an eye on the boys,
Okay.
making sure they don't get squeezed.
In
And
case
then-
there's any kind of damage coming towards that, I would feel that in the energy field that I emit, because that shield does shield from like flame and heat and such. So just
Gotcha.
mentioning that in case it becomes pertinent.
Okay. Yeah. Right now it's just warm. That's it.
Okay.
She just kind of stands there and like warms herself because she's still soggy.
Yeah, when Volcat walked past, it probably got kind of like thin and shadowy.
Now, oh, I'm sorry. Beth, what were you saying?
Yeah, I'm having trouble with the map, but Ian's helping me.
Okay.
Okay.
So Will, then are you continuing to move down south?
Yes.
Okay.
Doing that.
All right, so you begin moving into this area here. Everybody else is kind of following a little bit behind. Once you step into that kind of reddish zone there, this is the intuition roll that you failed.
Excellent.
You feel a twinge of a wire at about ankle level, a moment too late, and you hear the ping go, and as that ping hits, the tiles in this room all begin to shift downwards, and you are now, everybody that is from the fire down, which includes Mr. Arcane right here, are now beginning to slide down into this chamber here. So the whole thing has just shifted down 45 degrees.
Well,
Is there anything dangerous looking in the chamber we're sliding into?
There's a glow
glowing.
down there, but it's you can't really tell, and you're moving down there pretty fast right now. So yeah, go ahead.
I was supposed to say, if there's time,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to try to throw a wall up at the entrance to that chamber.
Gotcha. Go ahead and make. I'm going to have you make an agility roll first because this is happening so fast.
Makes sense.
Shelly will just start flying and catch Mr. Arcane
Show
if he
off.
doesn't aim. If she's not able to, he's not able to get himself flying in time.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't.
Mm-hmm. And I would do the same for you, Bombshell, just to see if your reaction is fast enough because this is happening so quickly.
Okay.
So
what am I rolling
agility
on?
then
The
for
flight
you.
agility?
Mhm.
Okay. Nope.
Ooh, okay, and I'm gonna roll for Mr. Arcane then as well. Ah, you got a red.
Oh, nice.
So he's like, whoop, and he took flight just as everything was beginning to shift. He's not fast enough to be able to catch either one of you. So the two of you are sliding down into this room down in here. Now that you're down there, it is beginning to fill up with sand.
From up top or below?
From down in this area here. So this is now up and this is down. So it is starting to fill from bottom up.
Oh, like an hourglass.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting.
Anything of note in here that isn't
and
sand?
the sand is coming from between the cracks of all of the tiles that lead down into this area.
Oh, so it's kind of falling down from on top of us.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's getting all in my hair. This is terrible. Is there anything in this room besides sand?
This was the chamber that the other Minotaur came out of. So it doesn't really seem like there's anything of any note in here.
Okay. So nothing to turn off this. It doesn't seem like. Okay.
Yeah, definitely not in here. Yep.
Once I get my two brain cells working, I rub them together and remember that I can fly. And I will see if I can grab Will.
Yep, just make
flies.
a agility check there as well.
Apparently not.
Now you can certainly take flight. That's not going to be an issue at this point for you. But just trying to grab hold with all the sand coming in and so forth,
Right.
It's hard to see. So you're kind of trying to grab blind here through the sand to try to grab hold of him. So Will, what do you want to do?
Will is going to really probably frustrate Shelly a little bit and look around and go, "This is a really good trap."
And she's like grabbing, and she's like,
Seems utterly unconcerned. Just, no, look, I mean, the engineering behind this is spectacular. They did this is ahead of its time. This is top notch. Assuming it's period. And he's kind of trying to get back up on the sand. And as it starts to get up to his chest, he's going to teleport back to the room with the fire.
Okay. Now, there was off to the side, on the right-hand side, heading off to the east, a hallway here as you were kind of coming into that area. Because of the way this whole thing shifted down, that area is no longer accessible from there.
This area is no longer accessible?
Right, yeah. So that's completely blocked off now.
Gotcha.
So coming back up to this chamber, your only option now is to head east out of the room with the fire pit.
Okay.
trying to shake sand out of damp hair.
Oh no, that's stuck everywhere now.
Yeah. Yeah, she's
Yep.
officially cranky now.
All right, so moving into the next chamber, you can see up to the north the doorway that had come down to kind of wall off the area around the well. So you kind of now get your bearings about where you are in the maze. There is a hallway that leads off still further to the east that looks like it juts off ever so slightly, and then another hallway that leads you down to the area where that little offshoot was that led down to the sand pit.
Tank, what room did you find that helmet in?
Kind of back that way a little bit. I just sort of point. I'm not gonna walk him all the way back.
Yep, it's the upper
But
right-hand corner of the map.
I'm pinging it, you know,
Interesting.
for
Okay.
what that's worth.
Well, let's try to
So
see.
was there anything interesting under the sand? Was there what are we missing? A sword, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, there's
I didn't
nothing
see
down.
anything.
There's nothing down there.
Well, I guess we just try a different way. Keep going out this way, I
I think
guess.
we keep on trying things to the south as much as we can, I think.
Hold on one second. I apologize.
Yes.
As you guys were sliding down into that sand pit, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I was on a different part of my screen here and it kind of disappeared.
Okay.
You slid by a sword in this corner. Right in here.
Well,
Oh.
we need to get that.
I mean, Shelly probably would have grabbed that on our way back.
Yeah, and flying out of there, you should be able to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sorry.
That's all
I
good.
clicked off the wrong screen there.
Okay, in which case then she would fly back up
Fly.
all the way over here.
And then return the sword to
The sword goes to Flamma the Undefeated.
Yep.
I took
And that
notes.
guy is, well, she'll look for the guy that got 2 prongs in his hand. There we
And
go.
no sword.
Yeah, that'd be
And no
this.
sword.
Mm-hmm.
And boop, pop it into his hand.
All right, and when you do, you hear the sound of the doors clamoring open like you have in the past.
Okay.
This is fine.
Okay. And then, well, it's probably releasing the Minotaur.
Yep. Okay, well, let's see about going south.
All right, so you head south, and then you see off to your to map left in this area here, the little tunnel that basically leads now to a dead end.
Okay.
So then it juts off again to the east, over in this direction right here.
Yep. We will go that way.
Okay. And then at another 45-degree angle, it goes off to the right and to the left. So whichever way you want to go from there.
I am inclined to work our way from left to right,
Mhm.
unless anyone has any objections.
No.
Okay.
I got this weird feeling that I should have 50 feet of rope and a 10-foot pole. I don't know why.
That sounds crazy. You're ahead of your time, Tank.
And maybe a hammer and some pythons.
Yeah.
It's okay. We have iron rations. What could go wrong?
That is what could go wrong, having iron rations.
That's true.
Now, Will, make another
Yes.
intuition roll for me, please.
This has gone so well for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I moved to do the intuition roll and my cat ran away. That's not a good sign. Oh, okay.
All right, so yellow. All right, so now go back to your D10s
Okay,
and roll once for me, please.
certainly.
All right, a 3.
Tree.
Why did it have to be snakes?
Do you need 2 more again?
2 more again, please.
Okay.
4,
Come on, 5.
and a 4. Okay. All right, here at the bottom, there is kind of a gate that goes off into kind of a darker chamber right in here. And it
Okay.
looks like there is a like a disc-like mechanism that almost looks like a telephone, kind of rotary phone kind of thing. So it's got like about 6 holes that go around in a circle.
Interesting.
6. So not fingers. Okay.
I'm wondering if the gate will open if we put the things on all the statues, or if there's only 6 things and there's 8 prongs. So that's not it.
Can I float forward here
Yeah.
without touching the floor? And just Shelly's just super curious. She just wants to take a look at this rotary thingy looking thing.
And she's going to get possessed.
There any marks? I'm not touching anything. I'm not even touching the floor. Like, I'm literally taking all the precautions. Sorry,
said
the floor will possess you.
I said what I said.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, just any symbols or any numbers or anything on it.
There are a series of Greek symbols.
Oh, it's got funny letters. I don't understand them. She just turns around and flies back.
Can Will make out the letters from here, or does he have to get closer?
You got to get pretty close, yeah.
Okay. Dark Force plank. Going to anchor it to the gate and leave it on the steps so that we have a way across without touching the floor. Then I'll come and I'll look at the letters.
So you can make these out really without even a roll, I think, with your background. And you have alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta.
Okay.
Okay, which are the first 6 letters
Right.
of the Greek alphabet. But they are in an incorrect order.
Oh, I mean, without even thinking about it, Will's going to put them in the right order.
Mm-hmm. And basically, in order to do that, you basically kind of punch in on one, and it pops it out. So it's actually like a cylindrical tube.
Okay.
All right. So there's like a spring mechanism that when you press in, it'll pop it out just enough to where you can grab it and pull it out.
Okay. Yep.
So you go through that process and put them in the order that you feel like they should be in. And once you do, the disc itself begins to turn, and the gate opens up.
And then you get trucked by the 4th Minotaur.
And I need you to make an agility feat for me, please.
Hey, here we go. Well, yeah, the gate's opening, and I'm standing on a Dark Force plank that I anchored on the gate. So even if there was nothing else, I did this to myself. Nope.
All right. You take 50 points of piercing damage from a wall of spikes that just come at you in an instant. Just shooting.
Wow.
Yeah.
So thankfully my Dark Force aura is up,
Yeah.
because I don't take 40 of it.
All right. So you take 10.
Ow, son of a...
What Dark Force aura?
But it hits you with such force. It actually sends you, because since you're not impaled necessarily by it,
Right.
it knocks you backwards.
Whee! Don't play with the wall. Not fun.
And looking at it now, that is effectively a dead end. And those spikes are not going anywhere, and that was simply there as a trap.
That's awful. You
That was
solved the puzzle. You
really-
did the smart thing, and it hit you anyway.
Really clever. Kill the smart people. Okay.
Huh.
Kill the smart people, and there's only morons left. They can't figure out the rest.
So now
Sorry.
your only option is to go back up and then figure out which way to go from there. So going back up into that angled, the 45-degree angle hallway, you could go back up and attempt to kind of go east, or you can go east from here.
I think east from here, the way that Priest is right now.
Okay.
Would you like me to lead the way, or let you go ahead and do it?
I've been so successful. What could possibly go wrong? I put my Dark Force aura back up.
He's gonna have to put his face up in there anyways, because he was the only one here that reads that stuff, right?
Right.
I believe that's correct. Let's see. So we're going to keep on going south so we can scoot along the bottom wall, I think.
Okay. I'm trying to send Mr. Arcane with you so you got at least a little bit of light there. All right, so now you are in some very, very narrow passageways here.
Yeah.
And it's really only wide enough for basically one person to go through in certain areas here.
Perfect.
So now you've kind of come across a little bit more of an open area that kind of leads down into kind of a darker area of the chambers here, as if it wasn't dark enough. And there are like 4 little small kind of angular antechambers on either side, but you can see a glow from what appears to be another fire coming from the south, just off of this area here.
Ever so gently scoot up here and see if I can see anything from here.
Yeah, angle-wise, all you can see is the glow of the flickering flame.
Okay. I'm going to go up just so that there are more, so we don't get bottlenecked.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm explaining to the rest of the group.
Is
So
there
I'm
anything
going
in
to
here directly in front of us?
No, just an empty room.
Okay.
All right, now, Bombshell, from your angle right there, you can see just around the corner, right in this area, right in here, laying on the floor, you see just in the firelight, you can see just a little bit of a glimmer coming from that corner, and you swear it looks like a pair of like large bracers
Oh, I see
laying
it.
in the corner.
And she'll immediately fly over here like an
No! Shelly,
idiot.
see that little 10-sided dice over there in the right-hand corner? Yeah, go ahead and roll that 3 times for me.
You don't even get an intuition check.
Nor should she.
No.
Okay.
And that was on purpose.
Yeah.
All right.
You gotta own it. If you're gonna run around with a typical intelligence,
Yeah.
Okay, so you rush down there and immediately just pick up the bracers, and you're like, I got him, and drop completely out of view of everybody else. So that panel that is right below you just falls.
Well, now to be fair,
right
she
underneath.
was flying.
Oh, she was flying?
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
because
okay.
she zipped. She's been
That's
flying the
true.
whole time, just like zipped down there.
All right. Okay, so that's fine. So that panel drops out from underneath you. Okay?
Oh.
And
She just looks down. How far down does that go?
It's hard to tell.
Oh,
You've got your light on, but you can't see the bottom.
that's really deep.
And so basically, it's this whole section right in here that dropped out from underneath you.
Okay.
And the wall here that was around this kind of little tiny room up in this area drops out of sight completely, and a large boulder takes its place and begins to roll down the hallway in your direction.
Oh. I don't know that flying's going to save me from that. Because she's only about a foot off the floor.
So wait, would I?
So it popped
With-
up here and just rolled.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Give me 1 second. Incredible strength. I think that I might could actually do something with
All
that.
right.
10 tons. I mean,
Yeah,
you
know
might
off
be
the
able
top of your
to.
head. Can I just try to push it over so that it kind of gets? How do you do the little flashy thing where you can see where I'm pointing?
Just
Hold-
click and hold.
Click and hold.
Click it
here.
over, yeah.
Could I maybe try to push it over here so it gets lodged in the wall that's there?
Yeah, right into this area, right in here. It's possible. Yeah, so 8-ball in the corner pocket.
There you go.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Shelly's standing there like, I got it.
I'll call Karma.
88.
Hey, look at that.
Okay. All right.
And my
yeah.
turn will make it a red. So
Now, the boulder is big enough to where it won't go into that little small chamber, but with the right angle on that, it will actually fall within this area here and get lodged. So yeah, you're able to hit it just in the nick of time to set it off course as it begins its trajectory towards Bombshell.
yay.
And
What's that noise?
It is at
Oh,
that moment
wow.
that from the darkness behind Bombshell, she is grappled from behind by Minotaur number 3.
That's amazing.
Oh, maybe not. She is swiped at by Minotaur
It's like goes to
number 3.
grab her hair, and she just like ducks her head around the corner to see what was that.
Wow.
Total freaking Mr. Magoo moment.
So is this room no longer there and we can see down that way?
Which room here?
This room?
This room here is gone. Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Do you
got
want new initiative rolls
clear.
from people?
If do you guys want to roll new initiatives or do you want to just keep them?
I'm fine.
They're good.
I'm good.
All right.
Well, here's our third Minotaur.
All right. So there's your
Where?
third Minotaur.
Where? Oh. That's what that breeze was.
And if we keep the same initiative, that puts us with Mr. Arcane first, but I will wait until Bombshell and everybody else gets to go, because he's the furthest back from everybody at this point.
We using the same number of multi-attacks from before?
If you
Or you
want
want
to do
new?
that as well, you can still use what you had.
I mean, I had good rolls. I'm certainly not going to complain.
But if you want to re-roll, you can. Okay?
Sounds good.
All right. So you're up then, Bombshell.
Okay. She turns around. She's like, "Oh, no,
No.
Bad Minotaur. Bad.
bad statue." And she
Whoops.
will
Play ball.
charge up her lightning into the blade, and she will try to pierce the toast. I mean, the Minotaur.
I pierced the toast.
I love the birdcage so much. Nathan Lane is a treasure. Okay. Karma. Didn't really need to do that, but I did.
All right. Yeah. So with Karma, you would need to get to an 86 to get it to a red.
So 22. Okay.
All right. Now, and I'm sorry, are you lighting it up with the electricity too, or no?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
doing the
how
full-
much damage?
I believe we had set that to, you know what? I think we've been all over the place on this. The lightning by itself is amazing. The blade does incredible. I think we were doing. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think we did monstrous damage with it. I
Yeah,
don't know.
It should have been a column shift up from your highest damage, so that would be right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense then.
All right, so 75. That's pretty good.
And And then she will, do the same. I'm going to conserve karma. Okay.
2 swipes. I know how you work.
Oh, no, you don't.
And so the first one cuts it across its kind of torso, and then the second one comes across the head and just pops it clean off. And it falls into the pit. And you put your hand up to your ear, and you're like, "There's a ground. There's a ground. There's a ground. There's no ground here."
There's no ground, Monty.
Oh. Maybe I can get the other nose ring from the other one up top. I need him that way. I got 2. I was just gonna get this one, but no, I'm not going down there.
Seems non-recoverable.
Yeah. So I will fly back. Okay, who wants to run this back? I guess I should, since I'm the. Oh, you can teleport here.
Sure. I will teleport back and put the bracers on the guy.
Okay. All right. Everybody else kind of staying in that area?
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for him to come back.
Okay. All right. So Will takes the bracers back, teleports back, puts the bracers on Marcus Attilius. And the rest of you hear another chamber open. And it is just around the corner from where the pit was, where the Minotaur fell down. So
Gotcha.
Just beyond that and off to your right, map left, in this circular area right in here.
Yeah. Okay. And then will teleport back.
All right.
It opened over here.
Okay.
Watch the big hole in the ground.
I'm going
This
to
might
go
be a good
down
time for
there
that dark plank, that dark force plank.
and try to watch the big hole in the ground.
I'll be honest. We haven't had a lot of luck with the Dark Force plank so far. Seems like Dark Force may not be the best construction material long term, but
Maybe the flying people can just move us across without us having to make ability checks.
how big is this pit?
It's only about 10 feet in diameter, essentially.
Okay.
If tank untanks, I could fly him over, and they can tank back up again.
Mm-hmm.
Although,
Or
just to be safe, I will put a plank across it.
Okay. All right, so with the plank across, you guys are able to kind of shimmy your way into this chamber. And you see this more kind of circular chamber here that juts off to the left. Inside here, there is what appears to be kind of a large oak, really solid oak table. And in the middle of the table, there is what appears to be like a kind of large golden goblet, and then resting inside the goblet, just right on top of it, is something that is in the shape of a dodecahedron.
Is that our doodad?
No one touch anything.
No. Bracers are one thing. I'm not touching the. Nah. That looks very possessive to me.
I think you should pick up the one that a carpenter would have drank from. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's not this. Will's going to walk around the table, taking a very close look at the dodecahedron, the chalice that it's in, and how the chalice is resting on the table, seeing if he can discern anything at all as far as potential traps and stuff.
All right, make an intuition roll.
Okay, I will spend karma.
Shelly's going to look under the table.
Okay.
See if there's any monsters under there.
All right, so you got a green. Shelly, make an intuition roll as well.
Okay.
So I'll knock that up to a yellow with my karma.
Okay.
How much do I have to spend?
On the excellent table, that would bring you up to 71.
minus 49 equals
Nice roll,
22.
Bombshell.
Right?
Yeah.
Look at me being aware of stuff.
Okay, so both of you guys got a yelp. I'll start with Will first. Okay, you take a good close look at this, and without kind of laying your hands on anything, not the table, not the goblet, not the dodecahedron, nothing. You're kind of taking a good look at it. The base of the goblet is maybe by about 1/4 of an inch inset into the table.
Okay, there's a mechanism.
Around the table, there is like a metal kind of band that's like a decoration piece that has what looks to be like large either nails or bolts that are basically kind of holding it in place. When you're looking at those, however, there's a little bit of a space in between the head of these bolts and the edge of the table. And it's kind of hard to see how they're in there, but I mean, if you look at it, it's not like a nail like this. If this is the head, the nail part of it is down here. So it's not here, it's down here.
Almost like maybe they're buttons.
Almost like it's hinged. Like these
Hinged,
things would maybe fold out like that. Okay? Bombshell, you're looking underneath the table, and what you expect to see with a large table like this would be some pretty hefty legs to be able to hold this up, because the table itself is probably about 6 inches thick.
Oh, that's like an 800-pound table, maybe more.
It's
Okay.
a huge table. But looking underneath it, instead of 4 legs holding it up, it has one large cylindrical kind of column pillar that holds it up from the center, which is right underneath where the goblet is.
And that goes into the ground, or is it resting on the ground?
Goes
no
into
flared
the ground.
base? Okay.
No flared base.
Okay. So this is weird. It doesn't have regular legs. It's got like a column under here, right in the middle. Like, and it goes into the ground. Like, who builds a table into the floor? That doesn't make any sense.
This whole thing collapses straight down.
I mean, is it an elevator? It's big enough to be an elevator.
I don't think it's an elevator.
You think it's a...
I think it's a trap.
Here?
I know, strange, right?
We could back out of the room and you could use your grabby to just try to grab the thing out.
And then if it doesn't work, then the thing possibly plummets down to wherever you sent that Minotaur.
And then we go get it. I mean, I don't like it, but what else you want?
I didn't hear that thing land, did you?
I mean, not yet.
Will, do you you've mentioned in the past your pursuits have sometimes ran you into situations where you've dealt with traps. Do you think that if we were to use transparency so that you could look more directly at the mechanisms involved, you might be able to disarm it?
Possibly. Can you do that?
I can try.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. Cool combination too. Telekinesis and transparency. I like.
And I will call karma for it. And it's a good
I think
idea.
you did.
Excellent expenditure.
Some karma is superfluous. Some is really well spent. I think that was really well spent.
Open. The 36. Yeah, I'll definitely spend that.
Okay, so what are you planning on turning transparent?
I would suspect that after talking a bit with Will, I would probably end up focusing my attention on the tabletop and the column that's holding it up.
Gotcha.
But is there anything else Will would have directed me to be focusing on?
No, it would specifically be the tabletop and the column. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that should at least show us where some other shenanigans can attach, if nothing else.
Right. It's essentially the outside shell of those things, not the whole package.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so basically what you guys see here is all of a sudden a three-dimensional X-ray of the table basically appears in front of you as Priest begins to focus on this. And what you see are a series of tubes that run throughout the column and to each of the bolts that run through this piece. In the center of the column, there seems to be a large, kind of another smaller cylindrical object that is filled with some sort of fluid. And then there's also this kind of like corkscrew kind of pattern. So it looks as though this liquid is released and the whole table begins to spin and begins to spew a liquid
Oh, so that's acid.
out of the holes.
So that's going to be acid in there.
That sounds awful. Who would do such a thing?
The Romans. This is great.
I don't.
I
This seems
think
really advanced.
I think I agree with your earlier assessment, Will. I don't think that they would have put the true artifact in a place where it would be likely to be damaged so destructively.
Yeah.
And this might be another red herring.
Will looks over at Mr. Arcane. Is this the thing? Oh, wait a minute. What am I talking about? I've got the thing.
As you do. Yeah, you do.
I use the drop a stone and the energy sense thing, and I determine if they match.
The resonance actually matches in this particular case. And after realizing that and the discussion that you just had with Priest and being able to see how this particular mechanism works, this mechanism is so good that the backsplash would not damage the item.
Will's even more impressed now.
And
Really
it would obliterate any flesh in the room. So yeah, the item itself is perfectly safe here. So
And
that's
it may be an organic acid that wouldn't actually affect inorganic materials. Like
that's a possibility
some sort of salt acid, maybe. I mean, it's right for the period. And Will's lost for a minute.
Can we take it?
Oh no, that'll set it right off. Hold on, let's see. He will look for someplace inside, not necessarily a release for the trap, like something to disarm it. Someplace where something can be inserted, even if not from externally, where just like a pole would gum up the works and not allow it to proceed forward.
Okay, explain that to me a little bit more in depth.
Basically, looking to take a broom handle and stick it in someone's bicycle thing and spoke it
to keep it from spinning.
To keep it from spinning or having the acid release. So, or the acid can dribble out. I guess that's not a problem. But to keep it from spinning, so that it becomes much less dangerous.
Okay.
Can you tell what triggers it? Is it like a weight thing?
It's going to be, but I've heard stories about archaeologists who try to match weight when they take things off, and
I was just thinking,
it never ends well.
Why don't we just walk out of here and then you go over there, you grab it, and teleport out?
I thought about it, but I suspect that
you really want to solve the puzzle, don't you?
Part of me wants to solve the puzzle, and also that wall moved fast.
I mean, that's pretty fair.
That
you did
wall
get
moved
stabbed
really fast. And potential energy has this habit of winning when it comes to being released.
No, there is the possibility of making. This might take a couple of things being involved, but could use the ionization to make someone intangible. So
What
that if they
about
were...
making the base of the table intangible? That would spill the acid reservoir onto the floor.
Wouldn't the table
Shelley
collapse then?
The table would definitely fall straight onto the floor.
And then the dodeca thing would get...
No, because it would still be on the table. It's not going to It's not going to dissolve the material instantly.
You have a good point. If we were to just actually open the bottom of the vase where the acid is being stored, would it just eat through whatever it was?
It's just
How
it's just a
much?
liquid. It would.
How much is there? How big is
There-
the reservoir?
There's a fair amount.
There is probably about, if you had to guess, probably 10 gallons in there.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Okay.
It's enough to roast your tootsies. Everybody's tootsies.
If you took like a 5-gallon paint bucket, if you can imagine what that looks like, and then stacked another one on top of it, that's about how much there is in there.
Ugh.
It's a decent sized fish tank, is what it is.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, good luck. Shelly just floats away. She lost interest.
Bye.
Bye. Just gonna float over here
this
and not be here when the acid goes everywhere.
And please note that the human tank is as far away from the acid as he can
Way
possibly
away
get.
from acid.
Yeah.
He ain't about that life.
I was like,
Yeah.
acid, I'm going to go to away.
So,
Okay, let's move in here. Is there a way to remove the dodecahedron that does not involve dying?
I'd make a reason feat.
Can I use Scholar of Antiquities?
Yep.
Okay. No! That's so bad. Either I'm positive there is or I'm positive there's not.
There's another small shelf over here.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And there is a metal ball.
Okay.
It was roughly about the same size and shape
Right.
as
It's
the
clearly-
dodecahedron.
It's clear, like, yeah, I'm an archaeologist. We're all good at doing it.
And
Never fails.
And even
Didn't you
even though
just
you
say?
just said you're like that, you're like, but if I'm gonna do this the way that an archaeologist would do it, if I didn't have any powers,
Right.
if none of these people had any powers, I could take the ball and I could do it. I just gotta be fast enough.
You just gotta,
I can do it.
right. Exactly. I got this.
perfect.
So
Can I have your
watching
stuff when you're gone?
What?
watching him do that. Wait, you just said, can I do a reasoning?
Yes, you can. Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right.
Right, but
Thank you.
clearly the designers intended it to be done this way.
I guess
I
I'll do
would
karma
like to make a
along with
reason
it.
feat to see if my character remembers high school chemistry.
Okay, so karma was called and will be used to get to a green.
I was like, I have monstrous on this roll. I don't need karma.
10 will get you your green.
Yeah.
No, human tank was
So
not paying a lot of attention in chemistry.
So Tank is going to be a lot like Will on this. It was like, no, I got this.
and you see Tank from around the corner, just his thumb. You got it.
This.
Yeah,
And
I was trying
Shelly's
to
being
remember
super helpful by
if I
harassing the.
remember, like you could neutralize acid with a base.
Yep.
But
Shelley's being super helpful by harassing the other scholar of antiquities and asking him if he has any magic spells to get sand out of hair.
And he's busy weaving his magic at this point to try to get the sand out of your hair.
Nice.
With the green,
Yeah.
do I at least get sufficient information that I might be able to provide Will with a base for not doing what he's about to do? Or to confirm that it's a good idea.
You actually see him kind of tossing the ball from hand to hand and getting ready to move in, and it's getting to the point where he's gonna do it unless you do something. So that reason feat lets you know that the best idea right now to save his ass is to turn the base, at least the wood of the base, to like nothing, and let the table fall. Now he might get some backsplash from the acid inside, or you could do something to keep him from doing that. So there's two options.
So I'll use one action to try and make him intangible, so that he actually drops
the ball
before he can even use it.
Hey, my ball.
And then I'll try to maybe motion for Spartan to move over to the side, and then use the other one to do what you've said to the actual base there.
All right.
So 2 rolls, and I'll make them both using karma. First one is for Will. Let's see, so that is going to be here.
All right, 33, and then on the amazing, if you want to get that up to yell, it's a 56.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and spend the karma to make sure that happens then. And for the table, I will also use the karma to get that to where it needs to be for a green.
And 26 there, so spend your 10, that'll get that to a green. All right, so series of events. Will is taking one final little toss, and the ball goes through your hand, and you're like, oh, wait, shit.
What the hell?
And as you watch the ball hit the table then crashes to the ground.
Ball was heavier than it looked.
And it crashes down to the ground, and a like torrent of acid now spreads out across the floor. Oh, fortunately, you're still intangible, so but you see that, and your reaction is to oh no is to back up.
Yeah, because I don't know I'm intangible.
Right.
Priest says, "You're good.
What?
Just 1 second," and he looks for the dodecahedron.
Mm-hmm. And it is still sitting perfectly inside the goblet. When the top of the table crashed down to the ground, it landed flat. And the goblet did not move, and the ball, or the dodecahedron, stayed inside the goblet.
Guys, that ball was so heavy.
At this point, though, the trap appears to have been nullified.
Yes, that's correct.
Correctly?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to use one more roll to try and turn the dodecahedron into also being ionized. That way he can pick it up because he's on the same wavelength.
Okay.
Although I'll ask you, maybe. So if I do that, will it like fall in such a way that he can't pick it up? I'll just. I think my character would know that.
That's a good point. Yes, it since it is an inanimate object, since you just turned an inanimate object to ions, the thing that was on top of it fell. So if you're taking that inanimate object, it will fall through, and until it solidifies again. So,
okay.
Yeah, probably not the best idea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What if I grab it with TK? Would that matter?
Yeah, you could certainly try that.
Yeah.
Can TK hold ions? I don't think it can.
Oh, with the ions, no. If he turns it to ions, no.
Oh, I'm not going to, because I don't want to. I don't want it to fall to the pits of the earth. So I do explain to Will, though, that he's currently intangible, and I can take that off of you at any point that you want. I just didn't want you to get hurt by the acid splash when I saw it at the table.
I know it was really heavy. That would have never worked.
You're so strong. I can't believe you lifted that thing.
I think I might have been subconsciously using the telekinesis. That normally is pretty effective.
Your brains really bring out the adrenaline in you.
I know, right? Okay, so is the top of the table dissolving, or is it okay for now?
The bottom of the table is starting to slowly kind of eat away.
Okay, so if I'm standing on the tabletop,
You're
not
okay.
in acid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, but you're still ionized at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I'm going to stand on top of the tabletop and say, "Okay, make me solid again."
I do.
Okay.
See, I had to time it so that something was within your mouth, though. That's key.
I'm a
Automatic
waiter.
Now Will's going to think
Everything
about... Yeah. Now Will's going to think about what we saw from the inside and attempt to kind of get the dodecahedron out of there.
Okay. And all you have to do basically is just kind of pull. Now, again, there's a little bit of resistance there. So there's a spring mechanism that basically lifts the goblet out as you are pulling up. But that part of the mechanism now is broken. So you're just getting the resistance of pulling that out. You have it in your hand, and you should be good to go. The problem now is getting from where you are on top of the table here back outside the room, because the floor is now covered in a very...
Floor is lava.
Haven't you ever played Floor is Lava?
It is. Floor is lava, yeah. But, I mean, I know you're able to do that, so you either teleport or however you need to get out of there, you certainly can.
Yeah, well, we'll just blip over to there.
Whew. Well,
But you now have the Roman Dodecahedron in your pretty little hands.
Will does look longingly back in the room and be like, that ball could be really useful if we could manage to use... I think it's done now.
Now, there really was a Roman dodecahedron.
Yep.
Yeah?
I remember reading about it.
All of these items are actually plucked from various and sundry.
They are, in fact. Because I recognized most of them. Okay. So we had another thing that was also in the area, right?
Or believed to be, yes.
Believed to be.
And that was, if I remember correctly...
the Antikytherian mechanism.
Yes, yeah.
Because I took notes other times, too.
It's not real close, but it is somewhere between here and Greece.
Okay.
Okay.
So in that case, I think we can report in that we have succeeded here and move on to our next one, right?
Yeah, first thing you gotta do is get out of these catacombs, so get back to where you were.
That is true.
Now, if you retrace your steps, which I assume that's probably the route that you're going to take, you shouldn't come across any further traps on the way.
Okay.
So I would say make a reason feat, just to make sure that you're going back the way that you can.
I'll spend karma this time.
I'm not rolling this. I'm following somebody.
There it goes. 39. That's good. You can get that up to yellow. And that's incredible with a 61 if you want to get it up that high.
Yeah, let's go to a
That's
yellow.
incredible, people.
And you guys are able to retrace your steps and end up back out into the Coliseum.
Okay. I'm going to hit that other Minotaur and get the other nose ring.
Oh, sure. Yeah. You get your other nose ring.
Got to get my matching bracelet.
Yeah. Now, as you guys come out into the Coliseum, from whence you had originally entered into the catacombs, there seems to be a decent amount of individuals that are there that were not there before.
Bobby,
Let me guess. This is the cliffhanger splash page.
I think it is the cliffhanger splash page.
Dad, as early warning
So-
Oh, Jeff,
systems go, you are not the best.
sorry.
Didn't we smash all these guys in Wakanda?
It kind of looks like those guys a little bit. And there are certainly some kind of like animal-human hybrids that are in the mix here. There are, by your count, at a quick glance, 11 individuals here.
And if I see that, I think that even Tank can identify the pattern and is thinking there needs to be a 12th.
Yeah, something's not right here because you are essentially looking at the signs of the zodiac here, ranging from Sagittarius to Aquarius, Leo, Aries, Taurus, Capricorn, Pisces, Libra, Cancer, Virgo, and Gemini. And each of them look humanoid for the most part in appearance, but they have elements that suggest the sign that they represent.
Which one is missing? I can't remember them all.
The one that is missing would be
Scorpio.
Scorpio. Yeah.
And
as you guys emerge from the pits, the one in the lead here, Aquarius, says, "Well, it looks as though our job has been done for us. Our employers will be so happy to see that the dodecahedron has been so easily obtained. Hand it over, and you can be on your way."
I challenge you to spell it first.
He cocks his head to the side, and he says, D-O-D, oh, damn it. And then begins to charge in your direction, and we will leave that as the cliffhanger for the next episode.
Nice.
Excellent.
Let's try out
I
my
will
new
say,
power stunt
hey,
next time.
yeah, I got your horoscope. Be on the lookout for a sudden change in your life that may impact you strongly. Like, kind of do the.
Your future involves eating through a straw.
All right, karma points for you guys for tonight. We're looking at 350 karma points.
Nice.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yay.
All right.
Tree Fitty.
Thank you guys for playing. I've been itching to get back into it, so this was a good one to get my feet wet. So I appreciate you
That was
guys giving
great.
me the time that I needed. So
Absolutely.
That was fun.
we'll hopefully be back on schedule, and I'll meet you guys back here in 2 weeks.
Sounds good.
Alrighty.
Good.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
have a good one.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.